So welcome to the next exercise. Working with Revolve option is making us realize that there are plenty of things which are present in our home or workplace that are basically created using the Revolve option. So from a simple cup to a rocket launch vehicle, we can create any form of geometry using the Revolve command. It is one of the powerful command in Creo, and that is also present in, obviously it is present in most of the designing softwares, but we have to understand the usage of the commands. So let us practice a simple creation of a cup, and you can see that we have the sketch which is given to us, and we have to revolve it with respect to the vertical axis, and we have to create the glass over here. So let me just, I have aligned my planes. Now let me click on revolve and select the first or the front plane. Now let me start from the base. So the dimensions are very smaller. Let me just zoom in, and I have to create a width of 1.366. so let me start from the left and change the dimension to 1.366. that is a very smaller dimension. So I'm not following the units. Maybe it could be centimeters, because it cannot be meters also, but it cannot be millimeters as well. So but for practice purpose, I'm just ensuring that I'm working in the millimeter unit system, because the objective over here is to understand, to create different shapes and see whether we are able to create those shapes correctly or no. So I'm not following the unit system over here, but I'm following the dimensions precisely, the numerical form. Now I have to create a straight line over here which is equal to 1.501. So I have to click over here and change the length to be 1.501, and now I have to create this arc, and this arc is having a radius of 2.113, and it is having a center at a distance of 0.721 from the vertical axis and a distance of 1.986 from this particular point. So I have to go to arc, and here I will be using the 3-point arc. Let me see whether we can create with this, and let me create a random. You can see the center of the arc which is moving when I am moving the basic arc over here. So let me place it randomly at any location, and first let me change the radius of it. It has to be 2.113, and the height of the total glass is 3.520. so I have to change this height. It has to be 3.520. Clear? Now I have to maintain this distance with respect to the center point, and it is to 0.721. So I'm trying to form the shape of the glass. Now I have also one dimension present over here, that is 1.986. so I can click on dimensions and click on the center point of the arc and click on the next point and click over here, and it is equal to 1.9 approximately, that is equal to 1.986. so it has already formed a precise shape that is given to us, so we need not modify anything. And the next task is to create, because this is not a loop right now, we have to ensure that it has to be a loop and it has to be a closed section as well. So we have another lines over here which is at a distance of 0.148. so we have to create one more arc at the same distance. So for creating this arc, we can utilize the option called offset. Maybe we have covered this option in the 2D sketching. So this is an application for us. Maybe at that particular video we've not seen a precise application, but right now we are covering the application of offset as well. So I am clicking over here, and let me click on the segment which I want to offset. In this particular case, I'm selecting this segment, and the moment I've selected this segment, one second, this is not offset command, I believe. Let me close it. This is project thicken. So let me go to offset, which is the upper command. Now let me select the segment, and the moment I have selected the segment, I'm getting an arrow. So in the earlier option, I was not getting the arrow. That was the reason I identified that I have not selected the precise option. So remember, whenever we are selecting the offset command, we are able to see an arrow which will help us understand the direction of the offset a direction of the new segment created. Okay, so basically whatever distance I'm entering over here, the same profile will be created on this side. It will be created on the side of the arrow. So let me enter the distance, which is equal to 0.148. And the moment I have pressed the enter, I got a arc, and this arc is also having a distance in the radius, and that is equal to 2.26, which is already mentioned in the dimensions of the figure. So it is approximately correct. Now we have another section over here. This is also an offset command, what we can use over here, and the distance or the thickness is equal to 0.123. So let me click on the offset command and select the line segment. Now when I'm selecting the offset command, you can see the direction of the arrow. It is on the right hand side, but I want the segment to be on the left hand side, because if I'm creating the segment on the right hand side, then there is no possibility for me to revolve the section, because I'm revolving this particular glass, or I'm sweeping the section with respect to the vertical axis. So I have to ensure that the command what I'm entering over here is the negative command. This will indicate the new segment to be on the other side of the arrow. So I have to use the negative command and enter the value, that is equal to 0.123, and I got the segment over here. So let me delete the unwanted segments. Clear? Now the next option is to join the point of the base to this vertical line, and the distance has to be 0.148, which is present over here. So let me come back over here and join them together and change the distance to be 0.148 and delete the unwanted segment. If I am not deleting the segment, there is no possibility for me to get a closed loop. A closed loop will not have any internal sketches or segments present. So we have to see that we have to delete unwanted segments, and we have to join the top section by using the line command. I got a closed loop. That is the reason I am getting a highlighted sketch or a shaded region. Now that my sketch is ready, I can sweep it with respect to the vertical axis to form the glass. So we got the geometry as it is, which is mentioned on screen. And as this is a sample, this is just an animation photo, but we have followed the dimensions what were given to us. So this is another example, a basic example of working with Revolve. Let us move to the next option. And by the way, we can try to learn one more command over here which is present in engineering. I just thought to beautify this glass. So one option called round. This is almost similar to fillet command. So whatever sharp edges are present in the glass, we can convert it to a softer blunt edges. So I have selected the round command, and let me click on the sharper edges in order to convert it to the blunted or a rounded form. I can adjust the radius as well. Clear? And maybe I can click on the internal side by clicking on the round command first and selecting the internal edges. So I'm just beautifying my glass over here. Now I can try to create the round option over here. So we are adding a material in the form of neat blunted shape or round shape. So generally in mechanical components, the sharp edges are removed in order to ensure that there is no loss of stresses. So we are doing the same thing over here. So this is the way we can work with round command. I have to cover the round and chamfer with some additional exercises as well in the future videos. So this was just a small introduction by adding it to the class. Now let us move to the next video.